You spend your whole life trying to fit in. You shape yourself around the opinions of others. You do things not because you truly want to, but because you fear being judged if you don't. You hold on to the idea that your worth is measured by how others see you. But what if this way of living is a trap? What if constantly worrying about approval is actually holding you back? What if the key to happiness, confidence, and success is not about controlling everything, but about letting go? A man named Michel de Montaigne, who lived almost 500 years ago in France, asked the same questions. He was a thinker, a writer, and one of the first people to say openly, "We do not need to live for other people's approval. We need to live for ourselves." It's about why we struggle with the need to be liked, how Montaigne taught us to break free, and how letting go can bring us peace, confidence, and real freedom. Most of us are taught from childhood to seek approval. Parents say, "Be a good child, do as you're told." Teachers say, "Fit in, follow the rules." Society says, "Look this way, act that way, achieve." These things. We grow up believing our value comes from the outside, from grades, from compliments, from likes on social media, from how people judge our looks, our jobs, our lifestyle. This creates endless pressure. We ask ourselves, am I good enough? Do they like me? What will they think if I fail? Living like this is exhausting. It builds self-doubt. It makes us wear masks to please others. We try to be perfect, but deep down we feel empty. Here's the truth Montaigne pointed out. Much of this pressure is not even ours. It comes from outside forces, family expectations, social conditioning, the fear of rejection. We carry it as if it were our own, but it is not. The result? We live as actors on a stage, forgetting who we really are. Michel de Montaigne saw through this illusion. He lived in a time of wars, political games, and strict social rules. Yet he chose another path. He stepped back, looked within, and wrote about the freedom of letting go. Here is what he taught. Perfection is an illusion. No matter how hard we try, we will never be flawless, and that's okay. Life is unpredictable. We can't control every outcome, no matter how hard we plan. True wisdom is self-acceptance. The real strength comes from saying, "This is who I am, imperfect, unfinished, but real." Montaigne didn't say we should stop caring about life. He said we should stop being slaves to approval. Not caring doesn't mean being lazy or indifferent. It means being free from the endless need for validation. Think about this difference. When you chase approval, you are a prisoner. When you let go, you are free. When we stop obsessing over how people see us, something amazing happens. We start embracing our flaws. We live more authentically. We give ourselves permission to be human. This shift creates a new kind of confidence, a quiet confidence. Not the loud confidence of showing off, but the calm confidence of being at peace with yourself. Have you ever met someone who just feels magnetic? They walk into a room and people notice them, not because they are trying to impress, but because they are simply themselves. That is the power of authenticity. Charisma is not about pleasing others. It's about being unapologetically yourself. And Montaigne's lesson is clear. When you let go of the need for approval, you begin to shine in your own way. Letting go is not just about confidence. It's also about freedom. When you stop measuring yourself by other people's standards, you gain freedom. Freedom to take risks without fear of judgment. Freedom to express yourself without pretending. Freedom to live without constantly comparing. Even relationships improve. When you don't try to control others or cling to their approval, your connections become more genuine. People feel safer around you because they sense you are not wearing a mask. And here's the irony. The moment you stop chasing approval, you actually attract more of it. Respect, love, and opportunities flow naturally toward people who are at ease with themselves. Now, many people resist this philosophy. They hear detachment and think it means not caring at all, but Montaigne was careful to explain. Detachment is not indifference. Detachment means choosing what to care about. It's about focusing only on what truly matters. When you practice detachment, you stop suffering over petty concerns. You stop holding grudges. You stop being eaten alive by insecurity. Instead, you save your energy for things that are worth your time, your growth, your passions, your true relationships. Detachment gives you the gift of clarity. Montaigne emphasized that much of our suffering comes from resisting reality. We try to force life into a perfect shape, and when it doesn't fit, we feel pain. But life is not a straight line. It is messy, it is unpredictable, and it is beautiful in its uncertainty. True strength is not about controlling every detail. It is about embracing imperfection, accepting failure, and trusting that life has its own rhythm. Think of history's greatest thinkers, artists, and leaders. They were not defined by approval. They did not wait for everyone to agree before they created. They lived authentically, and that's why they left their mark. When you let go of unnecessary worries, you conserve your energy, and that energy can then be used for what matters most: love, creativity, growth, and joy. Here is the paradox Montaigne pointed out. The less you care about external validation, the more respected and admired you become. Why? Because people are drawn to authenticity. Desperation repels, freedom attracts. When you stop begging for approval, you give others permission to be real too. This deepens relationships. It makes space for acceptance and genuine connection. Letting go does not weaken bonds, it strengthens them. At the heart of Montaigne's wisdom is this: peace and power come from within, not from others. When you let go, you free yourself from the fear of failure. You gain clarity. You discover fulfillment that doesn't depend on likes, titles, or applause. Life will always be unpredictable. If we resist this, we suffer. But if we accept it, we are liberated. The storms of life will still come, but we no longer fear them. Instead, we dance with them. Montaigne teaches us that we cannot control everything, and we don't need to. Life's beauty lies in uncertainty and surprise. When we let go, we make space for love, creativity, inspiration, and success to arrive naturally. We no longer push life into a mold. It flows through us. True wisdom, then, is not conquering life. It is learning to dance with it.